Hello guys, welcome back. In this video we will be learning trigonometry. So trigonometry is one of the important chapter, or we will use definitely those applications in a lot of chapters. So without wasting a lot of time, let's get into this chapter. So in previous grades you must have learned what is sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, right? So sine theta is simply opposite by hypotenuse, cos theta is base by hypotenuse, and tan theta is opposite by base. You must have studied it already. And you also must have studied cot theta, which is just the inverse of tan theta, and sec theta, which is the inverse of cos theta, and cosec theta, which is the inverse of sin theta. Okay, and you must have already learned three important formulas, which is sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta, 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosec square theta. You must have already learned this in your 10th grade, right? So you must have already wrote your board exams also. And you also learned some basics like 90 minus theta is equal to cos theta, cos 90 minus theta is equal to sin theta, like this. Okay, so you will also learn this concept now also, but if you have learned it earlier, it's fine. So with this I can tell that about corresponding to this I can tell that sine 10 degree will be equal to cos 80 degree, right? So similarly I can also tell tan 5 degree is equal to cot 85 degrees, right? So I can tell this. And let's see some application of that these formulas which we have used. So whenever we see a question like sine to the power 4 theta plus cos 4 theta, how can I convert this? So I can convert it into 1 minus 2 sine square theta cos square theta. Fine. And if I see something like sine to the power 6 theta plus cos to the power 6 theta, I can convert into 1 minus 3 sine square, sine square theta cos square theta. Okay, these are the two formulas which is derived from the previous formula. I can derive one of the formula for you. So basically sine square theta plus cos square theta whole square minus 2 sine square theta cos square theta will give me this formula, right? So this will become 1 minus 2 sine square theta cos square theta. I hope you understand. So just by clearing this itself, you can actually answer a lot of questions. Let us practice some of the questions now. So this is our first question. So what does the first question say? F of kx is equal to, it is given, right? So k is numbers like 1 to 3. Okay, so now for all x belongs to a real number, the value of f for x minus f6 x they are asking. So just apply 4 and 6 here. Okay, so 1 by 4 sin 4x plus cos 4x, fine, minus 1 by 6 sin 6x plus cos 6x, right? So I can further convert it as This you must have studied right now before. I can convert it to 2 sine square x cos square x, right? 1 by 4 minus 1 by 6, 1 minus 3 sine square x cos square x, right? I can bring this inside, these both inside, so I will get 1 by 4 minus 1 by 2 sine square x cos square x minus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 2 sine square x cos square x. Here there is minus, here there is plus, so this and this will get cancelled, and finally I will end up in this equation 24 6 minus 4, right? So 2 by 24, which comes out to be 1 by 12. This is a simple question. We have a lot of questions like this. Let's see another question, which is we need to simplify this equation. So tan A 1 minus cot A plus cot A 1 minus tan A. So you can see cot A, right? So cot A can be basically converted into tan itself, or you can also do by converting into sine by cos, but this method is a lot more simpler. So let's go with this method itself. Let's convert cot into tan. 1 minus 1 by tan A, right? So 1 by tan A, 1 minus tan A, right? So let's get the LCM for this. So tan will be multiplied here, tan A will be multiplied here by tan A, and this will go on the top and get multiplied. So we'll get like this. So 1 by tan A here, the tan A will come down and multiply with this, right? So 1 tan. Okay, so we have got this. Now what we need to do, you can see this term tan A minus 1 and 1 minus tan A is similar but not the same, right? So can I multiply with this with minus and change the equation? Tan A minus 1, right? So this minus plus will become minus. So now these two are same. Now it is easy for me to find the LCM, right? So tan cube minus 1 divided by tan A minus 1, right? So now you can see this is in A minus B cube formula, right? It is in the form of A minus B cube, A cube minus B cube, right? So if you know that formula, we can basically simplify it. So 1 minus, sorry, tan A minus 1 tan square A plus 1 plus tan A, right? Divided by tan A minus 1. Okay, tan A minus 1, tan A minus 1 get cancelled, and it will be turning into tan A plus 1 by tan A. So 1 by tan A will be converted into cot A plus 1, right? So this will be the simplified version of that. I hope you understand. Let's go for the next question. So next question is pretty interesting question. So if this satisfies the equation t square minus 90 plus 8 equal to 0, then the value of this they're asking. So let's do it. So you can see this is a geometric progression, right? So sum of infinite GP, if you remember, and this is a quadratic equation question, and this is the trigonometry question. If you know the value, you can just apply the value at last. This is not even a trigonometry question, it's a max question. So the real challenge is about finding these things only. So let's first simplify this equation and let's see the what are the roots are basically there. So if you do by the splitting of middle term method, you will get t minus 8 t minus 1 equal to 0, right? So t can be either 8 or 1. So we have got the first clue. Now let's try to simplify this equation. So sum of infinite gp, sum of gp formula is a by 1 minus r, if you remember, right? So what is a here? The first term cos square x and 1 minus, so ratio the ratio of the second term and the first term, cos square x, right? Divide this by this, you will get cos square x. So I can write cos square x by sin square x, and this will be converted into quad square x. Okay, now we have got e cot square x, right? Log e to the power 2, sorry, log 2 to the base e. Now I can take this to the power using the log property. I'll get something like 2 cos 2x, right? So just because here e and e are same, the base and the real base, the powers base is same, I can cancel this term and I can write 2 cos square x. Wait, this is in power cos square x. Now can I equate this to 8 and 1? 2 cos square x is equal to 8. So 8 can be written as 2 to the power 3, right? So I can write cos square x is basically 3. So cos x is plus or minus root 3, right? So negative won't come because the quadrant will be affected, right? So negative won't come. We will take only the positive case, because if you see in this question, x is only till 90 to 0. When it is negative, it will be exceeding 90 degrees, so only possible value is pi by 6, right? So similar to this, when you put cos square x is equal to 1, sorry, 0, 2 to the power 0 is this, so 0 is equal to this, and this also won't be there because of the constraint. This is cot, not cos. Oh my god, sorry, wait, what's the equation? Yeah, it's cos. Wait, what? It's cot, guys, it's cot. Oh my god. Okay, no problem. I was actually thinking of cot, so no values will be changed. So I was thinking of cot and writing cos. Okay, now it's clear. Okay, and this value won't come, everything is fine. So pi by 6 will be the answer. Now just because you've got pi by 6, just apply this pi by 6 in this equation and then just solve the equation, nothing hard about that. Okay, now let's solve another question which is also based on this 10th formulas. Is this question: 15 sine 4 alpha plus 10 cos to the power 4 alpha is equal to 6. Then the value of this they are asking. So what we can think is, can I write it like this, whole square, right? So I can write it like this here, and I can convert it like this. I hope you agree with this. And then if you further simplify this, plus 10, 1 plus sine to the power 4 alpha minus 2 sine square alpha, right, is equal to 6. So you can see these both are there. Okay, so what will I get? Sine to the power 4 alpha plus 10 sine to the power 4 alpha plus 10 minus 20 sine square alpha is equal to 6, right? So this will become 25 sine to the power 4 alpha plus 10 minus 20 sine square alpha is equal to 6. So just take sine square alpha is equal to t. If I take sine square alpha is equal to t, I will get a quadratic equation like this: 20t plus 10 is equal to 6. Okay, just take the 6 on the other side, solve the quadratic equation, and you'll get two roots. And after you got two roots, just apply in this equation, you will get the answer. Fine. Now let's see some concepts. Radian measure. So radian measure, you would have already known that 180 degree is equal to pi radians, right? So similar to that, by unitary method I can write 90 degree is equal to pi by 2 radians. And further going, what if something we have like point degree? Okay, how will you convert into the actual degrees? So remember, 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. Okay, 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. This is not about the clock method, so this is something different we use with degrees. So then we need to convert it into degrees and minutes. How will you convert? This is actually the degree. We need to convert it into degrees and minutes. So if we are asked to convert like this, I can tell it's gonna be 1 degree 15 minutes. As simple as it is. Because 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, then 0.25 degrees is equal to 60 minutes multiplied by 0.25, right? So it is basically divided by 4, if I'm not wrong. So you will get 15, right? So that's what written here. Minute symbol is this, sorry. Okay, so yeah, this is the simple concept. I think let's not waste more time in this. So area of sector. So area of sector, let's say a sector is like this and the theta is the angle, and this distance is basically r. So we call it as radius in this case also. So if you want to find the area, it's simply theta by 360 pi r square. Okay, where theta in degrees. When theta is in degrees, you use this formula. Fine. When theta is not in degrees, when theta is in radians, so simply just 360 is 2 pi, right? So I'm gonna write it like that and just convert it, and pi will get cancelled. Theta by 2 r square will be the formula if the theta is given in radians, the area of the sector. So this area is this, guys. So what if we have said to find the arc length? So length of the arc is r theta, okay, theta in radians, and theta by 360 2 pi r when theta in degree. Just remember one formula, you can actually interconvert it in a easier way. So just remember this in this, and I will tell to remember this in this formula, length of arc. Fine. Next we will learn a concept called sign convention. Sign conversion. So let's say there are a vector taking, we will always rotate it from initial to terminal positions. So if this is initial and if this is terminal, we will rotate it like this, okay. And if this is initial and this is terminal, we will rotate it like this, okay. So when we rotate anti-clockwise, we will take as positive. When we rotate clockwise, we will take as negative. That's all we have to learn in this. Let's go for the next concept, which is all silver tea cup rule. There is no standard rules as such, but I name it as, there is we call it as ASTC rule, but I actually learn it as a mnemonics, okay. All sin, tan, cos. So sin is associated with, so what I'm coming to tell is, in the first quadrant, if there is an angle, all the trigonometric ratios will be positive. Here sin and cosec will be positive because cosec is just 1 by sin, right? So if sin is positive, cosec also will be positive. I hope you understand. So similar to that, tan will be positive in this quadrant and cos will be positive in this quadrant. Simple as it is. Fine. Let's solve a simple question. Sin A is given as 5 by 13. A is in second quadrant. Okay. We need to find cos A and tan A. Okay. So sin A is given as 5 by 13. So let's take a triangle and let's take an angle theta. So opposite is 5 and the hypotenuse is 3. So this will be basically 12 by the Pythagoras theorem. So I can tell cos A is equal to, this is A, sorry. So this is A. So it is 12 by 13 and tan A is equal to opposite 5 by base 12, right? But we haven't completed the question yet because we didn't know the sign, positive or negative. That's why this ASTC rule comes in to play. So this we have mentioned that it is in the second quadrant where sign is positive. So it's gonna lie something here, but cos and tan are negative, so I will put a negative sign and this will be the answers. Fine. Let's solve another question. So this is the question. Now we have said that angle A of ABC satisfies phi cos A plus 3 is equal to 0, right? Then the roots of the quadratic equation, this. So what we have got is cos A is equal to minus 3 by 5. So from the minus 3 by 5, I can tell this is 0 degree, this is pi degree, sorry, pi by 2 degree, and this will be pi degree, and this will be 3 pi by 2, right? So yeah, it will be lying here. So we can notice that there is a negative sign in cos. So it can't be here because all the trigonometric ratios are positive. So first quadrant is eliminated, and sine is positive here, tan is positive here, here cos is positive. So this and this is eliminated. So it will be something between this. And we know that the angles of a triangle will be 0 to 180, right? So it can't be third quadrant. So this is also eliminated, and it will be for sure in the second quadrant. Okay. So now what else is there? Sin A will be what? 4 by 5, right? So since it is in second quadrant, sine will be in positive. So tan A will be 4 by 3, and it will have a negative sign. So just find the roots of the equation. You will get something like this, and we can put the answer basically which is corresponding to that. Okay. And remember, here we can actually find for any angle. So if you ask like what's the 240 degree, it will be which will be positive or like that. So 240 degree is gonna come somewhere like here. This is 270 degree, so it will be lesser than 270 for sure. So it will come like in the third quadrant. Okay. From this I can also explain a concept called negative angle. So what is a negative angle? Cos minus theta. If cos minus theta is there, we simply write it as cos theta. If sine minus theta is there, I can write minus sine theta. And if tan minus theta is there, I can write minus tan theta. Okay. Only cos, we write it, we neglect that minus. So if I wanted to explain, this is cos, right? So we treat all the thetas as the acute angle. So if we treat all the thetas as acute angle, then if it is something like that, I'm gonna move it as minus theta, which is an acute angle, so it won't go here, it will always be here. So you can see clearly that cos will be positive, right? So if you rotate theta here, it will be positive. If you rotate minus theta, it will be positive. So cos minus theta is equal to cos theta, but all these will be negative. Okay. Now let's learn allied angle. So let's go a bit faster because we think we've gone 30 minutes now. So if there is a trigonometric ratio and 90 plus or minus theta, okay, which is equal to what? So plus whenever there is 90 to 70 plus or minus theta, we change the corresponding trigonometric ratio. For example, if there is sine, we change to cos theta. When there is cos, we change to sine, and when there is tan, we change to cot. So whenever 180 and 360 is there, we don't change the trigonometric ratio. Okay, and sine will be based on the quadrant ASTC rule we have already studied, and all the thetas here will be considered as a acute angle. So basically, if they ask 90 plus theta, so 90 is here, plus theta will be somewhere here, lying in the second quadrant. Second quadrant, sine is positive. So if there is sine here, we'll get a positive value. Okay, if there is cos here, we'll get a negative value. Okay, hope you understand this. For example, if we have sine 270 minus theta, so how will you write it? So 270 is basically lying here, right? So 270 minus theta, so it will be lying in the third quadrant. If it lies in the third quadrant, tan will be positive but sine will be negative, and we have 270 here, so this will be getting changed, right, to cos. So and then what? So theta, right, and negative. So this will be the answer. Fine. Let's solve a simple question on that. So we have this question. Okay, tan 90 minus theta. So what is tan 90 minus theta? So I can write it as cot, will it be negative? So 90 minus theta will be lying in the first quadrant, so it will be positive. Theta sec 180 is there, so no ratio change. So sec, so 180 minus theta, so 180 is here and minus theta will be lying in the second quadrant. So since there is a sec, we won't, will change that as negative. Fine. And sine minus theta is basically sine theta minus, right? Minus will come outside, so it will get cancelled. Okay, so similar to this, sine 180 minus plus theta, so 180 plus theta in the third quadrant, all sine tan, so tan will be positive here, sine will be negative, sine theta. So what about cot 180? 360 plus theta, which will lie in the first quadrant, so cot theta will be positive, right? So cosec 90 minus theta, so it will again lie in the first quadrant, so it will become sec, right? Sec theta. So sec will get cancelled, sine will get cancelled, cot will get cancelled. Finally we will remain with minus 1. Okay, here minus is there, so minus 1 will be the answer. Fine. Now let's see an important thing, tables. So you must have already learned this 0 degree to 90 degree, right, of sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, if I'm not wrong. So 0 to 1, so this will come from 1 to 0 and 0 not if, right? But what about 120 degree, 135 degree, 150 degree, 180 degrees? So how will you do this? So for those things you need to use the formula, either use the formula which is 120 degrees. Okay, so 120 degree, sine 120 degree can be written as sine 90 plus 30. So since 90 is there, I'll change it to cos. So 90 plus 30 will give me in the second quadrant, so sine will be positive, it will be a positive value, so 30 will be the answer. So root 3 by 2 will be the answer for sine 120. Similarly you can do for everything and every ratios, there is no restrictions for this. Okay, but what if sine 180? How will you find sine 180? Because when you put sine 180 it will actually lie here, right? So will you tell it positive or negative? positive or negative, and how will you determine the quadrant? So always I can write this is never wrong, right? And I have always said this angle will be always treated as an acute angle only. Even if there is 90, you treat it as an acute angle. So it will be coming here in the second quadrant. So if there is in second quadrant, sine will be positive, so sine 90 will be taken as such, sorry, cos 90, which will be equal to 0. Okay, now let's learn a very important concept. This is very important. If a plus b is equal to 90 degree, okay, then I can write sine a is equal to cos b. So remember this, sorry, yeah. So how am I telling this? So sine a is equal to cos 90 minus a, right? So this will be changed into sine a. So simply sine a is equal to cos b, right? So b is equal to this. So I hope you understand. So just don't complicate it. When a plus b is equal to 90, sin a will be equal to cos b. Okay, if a plus b is equal to 180, sin a is equal to sin b. Remember, when it is equal to 180, sin a is equal to sin b, and cos a plus cos b is equal to 0. Okay, cos a plus cos b is equal to 0, and tan a plus tan b is also equal to 0. And for example, let's say you're having sine 10 degree plus sine 70 degree, 170 degree, let's say. So when you add this, we'll get 180. So I can tell sine 10 is equal to sine 170. Okay, so I can write 2 sine 10 degree and solve the problem. So as simple as it is. And if cos 10 plus cos 170 is there, so what will you tell? Cos 10 plus cos 170 is basically equal to 0. Okay, I hope you can understand this, but this is very important. You must remember this. Okay, so let's solve a question. Okay, so tan, so you can see tan pi by 4, tan 2 pi by 4. So whenever you see like multiple ratios, first try to do this. If it doesn't work, then go for anything else. So you can see tan 11, tan pi by 11, tan 2 pi by 11, like that's right. So when I combined this and this, what will happen? When I add 11 pi by 11 and 10 pi by 11, what will I get? I'll get pi, right? When I get pi, I have said tan a plus tan b is equal to 0. When a plus b is pi, tan a plus tan b is equal to 0. So this will get cancelled and this will also get cancelled. So 2 pi by 11 is there, 9 pi by 11 is there. When I add both, again pi, so this and this will be getting cancelled, and this also will be getting cancelled. So finally the answer will be 0. Fine. Let's solve another question. This question. Okay, again you can see there are multiple ratios, so I'm gonna combine some of the ratios. So you can see 11 pi by 17 is there and 6 pi by 17 is there. When I add both, I'll get pi. So I can tell that sine 11 pi by 17 and sine 11 pi by 17. I can write it like this, right? So cos 3 pi by 14 tan 6 pi by 7 tan. I hope you understand. This and this will get cancelled basically. Okay, that's what I'm coming to tell here. And cos 3 pi by 14 and what is else? This is, so when we add these both, we'll get again pi. These both ratios will get pi. So I can write cos a minus, sorry, plus cos b is equal to 0 when a plus b is equal to pi. So I can also write cos a is equal to minus cos b, right? So just because there is minus cos b, this and this will get cancelled, but here minus 1 will come. Okay, so similarly I can also cancel this and this. Again tan also same scenario, when these both is equal to pi, so tan a will be equal to minus tan b, right? So this and this will get cancelled, again minus will come, so finally I'll get 1 as the answer, right? So you can also do this the same method, HSL same method, you can do it 100%. Okay, now let's see some of the graph question. Okay, graphs, fine. So let's see the first graph, which is sin x graph. So just mark pi by 2 pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, like that. Similarly pi by 2 minus pi by 2 minus pi, like that. Okay, so just put the two important points. So at pi by 2, of course you know the sign will be at 1, right? So at 0 it will be 0, that's it. And pi also it will be 0. So you will be drawing a graph something like this and continue till infinity, fine. Similar to this you will also do it here, sorry, and continue this also till infinity. Okay, so you can clearly see the range, it's from minus 1 to 1, right? And what about domain? It is gonna be till infinity. So domain is x belongs to any values of r, right? So what is the period? So period is basically 2 pi. After 2 pi the graph repeats itself, so period will be 2 pi, range will be this, and the domain will be this, fine. Now let's go to cos graph, cos theta graph. So again just see those two important points, which is pi by 2 pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, right? So here also minus pi by 2 pi. So at pi by 2 it will become 0. Okay, and at 0 it will become 1. So it will be something like this. Okay, and something like this. So this will be the graph, and clearly you can see here also the range is minus 1 to 1, and domain is belongs to R, and period is, so 2 pi, it's same as sine, fine. Now let's see the tan graph. So tan graph is pretty different. So this will be pi by 2, this will be 3 pi by 2, and this will be minus pi by 2. So tan graph will be something like this. Okay, it shouldn't touch the pi by 2 thing. So it will be something like, wait, okay, this will be pi. So it will be something like this. Why it doesn't touch us the pi by 2? Because at pi by 2 tan becomes not defined, right? So what is the period for this? It's basically pi. So what type of questions can be formed in this? So basically the questions can be like sine 1 degree or sine 1 radians. So which will be greater? So to find this, I can basically convert sine 1 radians into sine degree, right? So pi radians is equal to 180 degree. Then 1 radians is equal to 180 by pi, right? So pi is basically 180 divided by 3.1, which comes out to be 70 degree approximately. Okay, so 57 degrees. So if I draw the graph of sine, it will be something like that, and it will be intersecting in pi, and the highest value will be in pi by 2. Okay, so 1 degree will be basically where will be the 1 degree? So 1 degree will be basically here, right? And this is 90 degrees. So where will 57 degree lie? Before 90, before 57 degree, anywhere? So I can tell 1 degree is here and 57 degree will be somewhere here. So which is bigger in quantity? According to the y-axis you can see, right? So I can clearly say this is gonna be bigger. Fine. Let me ask another question. Cos 1, cos 2, cos 3. Which is bigger? So again, draw the cos graph. So it will be something like this, right? So here pi by 2, which is approximately equal to 1.57, right? So here I'll get pi, which is 3.14. Okay, now cos 1. Where is cos 1? So 1 is gonna lie before this. So here will be 1 and 2 is definitely before. Pi by 2 is 1.5. So 2 will be here. And what about 3? 3 will be slightly before this. So you can see clearly that 1 is the largest. So cos 1 will be the highest. What about the second? It is gonna be here, and 3 it's gonna be here. At pi, after pi only it's getting decreased, so we need not to worry about that. So cos 2 will be the second highest and cos 3 will be the least. That's how you calculate it. Fine. Now let's see another concept. Graph. So just listen. Graph of y is equal to sin x versus graph of y is equal to cos x. So basically you merge both of the graphs in the same picture. Okay, this is the cos graph and this will be the sine graph, right? So this point is pi by 2, right? So this point is pi by 2 and this point is pi. This is not so accurate graph, so if it's want to be so accurate, it will be something like, okay, it's not accurate again. So it will be, okay, it will be something like this. Okay, now we know this is 3 pi by 2. If you closely observe this, at the point of intersection their both values will be equal for sure, right? So what is the point of intersection? It is going to be pi by 4. Okay, and what is this point of intersection? It is also going to be sorry, it is not also going to be, it's going to be 5 pi by 4. These are the 2 points where sine and cos become equal in this given graph. It's infinite, we can tell a lot of values, but here it's going to be this, where cos is equal to sine, where cos is greater than sine. So where cos is greater than sine, just look, this is cos graph, right? And at the same time sine graph is here. So I can tell at this interval cos is greater than sine, right? And again at this interval cos is greater than sine. So I can tell 0 to pi by 4 union 5 pi by 4 to 2 pi, right? We don't need close brackets because when it is equal this comes under the condition case 1, not the case 2. So when sin x is greater than cos x, of course the points accept it, right? So this point is basically a point where cos x is lesser than sin x. So I can simply write cos belongs to pi by 4 comma 5 pi by 4. That's simple as it is. Let's move. Next concept, I've already written all the formulas just in order to not waste time. So basically compound angle. So compound angles, sin A plus B, sin A minus B, those are called compound angles. So A plus B plus or minus type formulas are basically the compound angle formula. So just remember sin A plus B is equal to sin A cos B. Just remember this sheet. Nothing to explain with this. Just remember. Okay. And if you want to find sine 15, I can tell it's gonna be sine 45 minus 30, right? So by a minus b, sine a minus b formula, I can expand this. So apply the value, sine 45 value you know, cos 30 value you know, cos 45 sine 30 you know all the value, and apply and get the answer. That's how you will find sine 15 value, cos 15 value, those all values. Fine. So just remember these sine 15, sine 45, these are very important values. So by sine 15 I can also tell this will be equal to cos 75, right? So 90 minus 15, sine 90 minus 15, right? It will be equal to cos 45. So this value will be root 3 minus 1 by 2 root 2. Similarly this cos 15 value, which is equal to sine 75, root 3 plus 1 by 2 root 2. So learn this values also, 2 minus root 3 for tan 15 and 2 plus root 3 for tan 75. Okay, let's see a question. Okay, now let's solve a easy question. We have given the answer is below, so let me first explain it. So cos alpha is given us 1, sin beta is given us minus 5 by 3, right? So from this I can find, we need to find tan alpha plus beta. Okay, and the quadrant of alpha plus beta. Okay, now since we know this cot alpha is equal to 1 and sec beta is equal to 1, I can use the triangle formula and find tan beta, and also I can use the triangle formula and say tan alpha is equal to 1, right? See, cot is 1 by tan, right? So is equal to cot alpha is equal to 1. I can say tan is basically equal to 1. So we can use triangle formula and find the tan for this, which is 4 by 3, right? So tan beta is equal to 4 by 3. After that you just apply in, we need tan a plus alpha plus beta. We just apply in tan alpha plus beta formula, which is tan alpha, okay, tan alpha plus tan beta by 1 minus tan alpha tan beta, right? So you just found the angles, apply in the formula, and you can get the answer. After getting the answer, we need to, they are asked to set the find the quadrants in which a plus b lies. So basically a's inequality is given, beta alpha's inequality is given, beta's inequality is given. What if we add both the inequality? So we'll get alpha plus beta's inequality and pi plus pi by and pi plus 3 by 2. So basically this will be the a plus b's inequality, right? So with this you can actually find the answer for this. That's what actually written here. So yeah, they found the angles by the trigonometry and also found the quadrants. I hope the same thing is written here. If you can't understand, please look at the solution and then answer. So there is another question, tan 15, this that, then the value of, okay, so basically tan 15 is given, tan 75 is given. So tan 75, can I write it as tan 90 minus 15? Can I write it like this? So just because I wrote 90 minus 15, I can convert it like this, right? So 90 minus 15 will lie in which quadrant? First quadrant. So there is no problem. 70, sorry, tan 15, right? So cot 15, right? So I can change this into cot 15. So similarly, I can write tan 105 as tan 90 plus 15, right? So which will lie in the second quadrant, so minus cot 15. So I can substitute it here. So I can also find this, right? So basically that is this step. Okay, so this will become tan 15 and 1 by cot 15 is basically converted into tan 15. Okay, again, so this is 1 by tan 15. I can take tan 15 on above and I can convert this as tan 15, and minus tan 15 and plus tan 15 get cancelled and will be remaining with 2 tan 15 is equal to 2a. So by comparing I can say tan 15 is equal to a, right? So we need to simplify this equation first. So basically after a simplification we get this. So we know these values, tan 15 and cot 15. If you don't know, just apply in the formula and get that. So you'll get the answer as 4. Let's go for the next question. Yeah, if cos alpha plus beta is equal to this, so cos a plus b is given, sin a minus b is also given. We need to find 2a. Okay, so try to understand, if we take it as p, a plus b as p, alpha minus beta as q, then what is p plus q, which is alpha plus beta plus alpha minus beta. Beta will get cancelled, it will get 2 alpha, and 2 alpha is exactly what we needed. So we need to find tan p plus q, right? So tan a plus b, we have a formula which is this. Okay, we need to find cos p and cos q. If cos this is this, sin this is this, using the triangle thing I can find tan p, right? So I can find tan p and tan q. Just applying this formula and you will get the answer. Fine. Now we also need to check the range. Okay, so we have given that alpha is greater than 0. So alpha is greater than 0. Okay, alpha is greater than 0 and minus beta, we need not beta, we need minus beta. So we just multiply with negative sign and you will get this. So when you add these both equations, you will get the a minus b's equation. Hope you understand. If you find a minus b's equation, that is basically theta we are searching for. So that will be basically lying the second quadrant, and you can adjust the sign with it. Okay. 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 Let's see another question. This is a very good question. Let A and B denote the statement cos alpha plus cos beta cos gamma is equal to 0. Sin alpha plus sin beta sin gamma is equal to 0. So just we need to find this, then they're asking. So just expand it. First method, that's all we can do for now. Just expand it, we'll get something like this is equal to root 3. Just bring on the 2 on the other side and minus 3 on the other side. So you will get something like 2 will be multiplied to all the terms. So you will get something like this, and plus 3 will be written like this. And remember, this plus 3 can be written as sin square alpha plus cos square alpha, right? Sin square alpha plus cos square alpha, sin square beta plus cos square beta, sin square gamma plus cos square gamma. And how we came to this? Because you can see clearly cos alpha cos gamma, 2 cos alpha 2 cos gamma is there, right? So sin square alpha plus sin square beta plus sin square gamma whole square plus cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma, we have a general formula which relates all of these things, right? So, and we have given a clue that this is equal to 0 and this also is equal to 0. So these both will be equal to 0 and the total answer will be 0 itself. Okay, this is a very good question. You can try in your own. Just pause and try it again. Okay, and we need to learn something called double angle formulas. Sin 2 theta is equal to 2 sin theta cos theta. 2 tan theta by 1 plus tan theta. It's going to be 1 plus tan theta. And whereas tan 2 theta is formula is 2 tan theta 1 minus tan square theta. It's 1 plus tan square theta, that's 1 minus tan square theta. That's the difference between this. So be careful on this. So what about cos 2 theta? Cos square theta minus sin square theta, 2 cos square theta minus 1, 1 minus 2 sin square theta. So 1 minus tan square theta by 1 plus tan square theta. We have like 4 literal formulas which you must remember. Okay. So yeah, you can do a question. So what's the question? Find the exact value of this. So you can see 200 here, 10 10, right? So I can simply convert this 200, tan 200 is equal to tan 180 plus 20, right? So 180 plus 20 is basically this. So I can convert this further as tan 20. Okay, so if you convert this, you can actually feel something which is, this is tan 2 theta, right? So tan 2 theta we have already studied the formula, this one. Just apply it here, we'll get this. Okay, just when you apply, a lot of things will get cancelled and you'll get 2 as the answer, as simple as it is. Okay, easy question. So the value of, so this they are asking, this is again an important and easy question. So we have given certain values. Whenever I said when we have a lot of sequence of numbers, just search for the terms which gives an addition of pi. When they are added, it gives pi or pi by 2, something like that. So you can see when you add these both, it will give pi by 2. Okay, that's one clue. So just because this gives pi by 2, when so when their angles is sum is 90, I can tell sin A is equal to cos B, right? So this sum is pi by 2, right? This sum is pi by 2. So I can write this as sine pi by 8, right? So similarly I can do for this also, which is cos pi by 8. Now taking sine theta cos theta common outside, I will get sine square theta plus cos square theta, which is equal to 1, right? So when you manipulate it, multiply and divide by 2, I can see a clear formula of sine 2 theta, right? So this will become sine 2 theta by 2. So sine 2 theta is sine pi by 4 by 2, and you'll end up in getting the answer. Fine. So let's see another question. This is taken from somewhere else. So this question, do it by yourself. This is a good question, or let me explain. Okay, let me explain itself. So this angle and this angle, sum is pi, right? So when it is equal to pi, sine A is equal to sine B. So I can write this as square, and this also will be square because this and this sum is pi. So when both same things are multiplied, square will come. So these three things and these things will be eliminated, and I can write it as whole square. Do you agree with me? So when you write it as whole square, and if you simplify this, you'll get pi by 4, right? So pi by 4 is a known angle, which is 1 by root 2. Just convert it as 1 by root 2. Okay, and now just multiply and divide by 2 because you have same angles, so you can convert it into sine 2 theta, right? So multiply and divide by 2, and when 2 comes outside, since there is a square here, it will be doubled when coming outside, so it will be 2 square. Okay, so simply evaluate this and get the answer. Right, there is also another important result. So tan pi by 8, tan 3 pi by 8, so which is basically 22.5 and 67.5. So why I'm giving this 22.5 and 67.5, I can just leave it like this, right? So the only reason why I'm giving it, because you can actually recall it by just seeing this, right? Whenever there is a random like 22.5 is given, in your mind it won't be flashing like 22.5 is a given quantity. Whereas pi by 8, if you have seen somewhere, okay, pi by 8 value is given somewhere, but I forgot the value, at least you can have that same kind of sensation. Just remember it values. So this is very important in some questions. Okay, I think with this I'm gonna end this part 1. Let me see you guys in the part 2 lecture, because I think it's exceeded 1 hour. So if it is exceeding 1 hour, you will be like traumatized. So I'm gonna end it here. So okay, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.